There is a list of unstable democracies in the world. And the number one indicator of an unstable democracy is the level of tolerated political violence and tolerated political violent discussion. And the United States is third on that list of unstable democracies because of our polarized environment, because of the way that extremism has gone mainstream.
I have strong political feelings too, and I can understand why people are reluctant to come together. And I often sort of say you need to find your own why, right? It may be because the person in front of you has become a monster and you need to humanize them again to expand your soul. It may be because you need to become a better advocate. You need to know your enemy's heart, right? I mean, you're not going to bring that up in the room, but so you can be more productive in your advocacy work. Or it may be because you're very concerned about our democracy and diversity is a fact. This is Diana Eck, I think. Diversity is a fact. Pluralism is an achievement. I would say it's a practice. It's an investment.
There are fundamental conceptions about what a moral life is and how one can live a moral life. And when you are put against someone else who has a very different conception of what a moral life is, and in that sense you're put in a black and white relationship with them, there's really only one thing to do, which is to win.
I recently had a group of students, and we were talking about empathy, and we were talking about what it would mean to walk into a room with people who had a radically different take on something that you feel really, really strongly about. And within minutes, a couple of hands went up, and the sentiment was, and a quote from a student said, "Why would I do that?"
Those people who reach out, which usually includes a pretty purple mix, they get that extremism and hate are really at the core of the problem and are open to taking a holistic approach to it. So I think over there, like on the Hill, there is a little bit more of a politically aspect to this, but on the ground, I think people who are confronting what extremism and polarization bring to their hometowns and the kind of violence and divides that it brings, when they want help, then it doesn't, the color doesn't matter as much if it's red or blue.
George Mason University, what's interesting about it, and not everyone may know this, but it historically has a very strong right-wing component in our governance. So it's forced us to engage others, radically different, and figure out what they're like and what do they actually want. And it turns out these Republican leaders love democracy too. And they're interested in human rights. And they believe that one of the greatest threats to human rights is too much government power. And so if you can engage them where they are, and you can say, well, we're worried about things like that too, then you can generate a space for concern for democracy and human rights and how to preserve that within the university.